I mean, how can you stop Cale Makar on that play? Hawks lose for the 5th straight time. The losing streak's now up to 5. 4-3 in overtime to the Colorado Avalanche. Fortunately, in this 5-game losing streak, 3 of them have been in overtime, but that doesn't make it, any much better. It's still a 5-game losing streak. To me, the reason why they were able to get a point in this game was because Marc-Andre Fleury was back in net. And considering the last 2 games that we played in against Nashville and Calgary, you can kind of see why I say that. In the first period, the Hawks look about as bad as they did against Nashville and Calgary, letting up 2 goals to go down 2-0 by the end of this period, letting Erik Johnson score from practically the blue line as that shot hits the post, probably slid off the post and in. And then Alex Newhook, who got the puck off of a terrible turnover where the Hawks were actually about to clear the puck, and then Newhook actually finds a way to get the puck on his stick, and then just walks in and scores. And the Avs then take a 2-0 lead in an intermission, but not before Marc-Andre Fleury makes an unbelievable save at the end of the first period to keep it from getting worse. And when I talk about saves that achieve highway robbery status, this is a prime example because Jost has a point-blank look, a perfect look at Marc-Andre Fleury, and it goes right to his glove. If he gets that, shot off against pretty much any other goaltender, almost any other goaltender in the league, gosh, that was hard to say, he would have scored. But not against Marc-Andre Fleury. He's able to stop this and, as John Buchagras said, keep the Hawks in the game. See, about 5 minutes into the second period, Seth Jones keeps the puck in the zone in the corner, throws it back on net, and a loose puck is grabbed by Mackenzie Entwistle, who tries to fire it on net. It's kept out by Kemper, but then it squeaks enough by him for Jonathan Toews to sweep in and put it past the line and into the net. Jonathan Toews now his 4th goal of the season. I mean, yeah, Jonathan Toews. I think that scoring that goal all the way back in Montreal helped him get out of some sort of scoring slump, as he's not scoring like he used to do, but he's putting pucks in the net now. And he's not, scoring no goals for almost 2 months of the season. He's now got 4 in the last month. So I'm happy for Jonathan Toews that he's come back to the lineup and now starting to score a little more. And well, that would be the score going to intermission. So the Hawks cut the deficit in half going into the third. A couple minutes into the third period, Nathan MacKinnon gets called for interference against Phil Kurashev. He goes to the box. About a minute later, Tyson Jost also goes to the box for a delay of game penalty, so the Hawks have a 2-man advantage for about a minute here. With about 20 seconds to go on this 2-man advantage, Jones has him by the blue line as there's a loose stick. Dominic Kubalik looks like he lost his stick, went back to go to anyone. Doesn't matter, though, as on this play. Kane kind of pokes it away and awaits a pass from Jones, and he gets a one-touch pass all the way to the brinket in the same spot he scored so many power play goals this season. And he does it again! Alex DeBrincat I don't know what it is about this angle, but he must have practiced this angle so many times when he was younger, because he has got this angle down to a science. And he scores again. 3-2. But as we learned from the game against Washington, this ain't over. Hawks still have a power play, so they still have a man advantage. And on said man advantage, it's Dylan Strome who drops it off to Kane, who is just blazing in. He takes over, and instead of just driving it to the net, he gets a backwards pass to a streaking guess who. Guess who? Just take a wild guess who. Of course it's Alex DeBrincat. And he comes in, and he shoots, and he scores! Alex DeBrincat scores twice in less than a minute to give the Hawks a 3-2 lead early in the third period. You talk about you like seeing production. I've said I love seeing production from players who don't usually score. But man, when Kane and DeBrincat are clicking, they're unstoppable. That's good for goals number 19 and 20 for Alex DeBrincat on the season. And the Hawks lead. So the Hawks, after being down 2-0, take the lead for about 10 minutes. And about 8 minutes to go in the period, Kadri comes in for the Colorado Avalanche. And then Burakovsky drops it off for Eric Johnson, who then just kind of throws it on net. And it beats Marc-Andre Fleury to tie the game. Now this isn't there's a reason why it went in. Looking at it, you realize it wasn't Nazem Kadri who tips it in the net. It's Jake McCabe. So that's not a good look for you, Jake. I mean, can't do that. That's how that's how goals are scored sometimes like that. Usually takes a tip, a really good tip, or a really bad play by a defenseman who just sends it right through the 5-hole. And, well, the game's tied. And there'd be no more scoring, nothing really much else. So we go to overtime, and the Hawks get another point in the standings at least. But then we get to this. About halfway through overtime, Cale Makar, star defenseman for the Avalanche, comes in and kind of takes over, goes around behind the net, and makes a little move. And as he's being guarded by Kirby Dach, he moves around and kind of circles back, almost like he's about to set up a play. But quickly decides to kind of move back and just move right back towards the net. 1, 2, 3, lift it up top shelf and win the game for the Avalanche. If there was any way you could break someone's ankles in hockey, this would be a perfect example. Kirby Dach got his ankles broken by Cale Makar, just made him look silly. I'm honestly more impressed that Kirby Dach did not completely fall to the ground, or to the ice, whatever you want to call it. But you know what? He was still out of the play anyways. I mean, like, even though he stayed up, he was still out of the play. Cale Makar was already moving in 1, 2, 3 up past Fleury, game over. And that is a play you see from only the best in the league. Cale Makar made Kirby Dach look silly. Oh my gosh, broke his ankles so bad. And he just walks right in and just lifts it right over one of the league's best goalies in Marc-Andre Fleury. And he made it look so easy, too. Now, Dach's not necessarily the best defender. I mean, he doesn't even play defense, so it's not like you really expect him to be, guard Cale Makar perfectly. But, man, just to make it look that easy is just definition of the Hawks defense right there, I guess. So the Hawks fight hard, but in the end cannot get it done. They get the point, though. They're 0-2-3 in their last 5 games in this 5-game losing streak. And so a perfect chance to get back on the right note is coming up. Man, do we need this game. It's the Arizona Coyotes next. They are openly punting the season. They have been since before the season even started. Still the worst team in the league by a long shot. And so we go into their house. This should be a win. Right? Hopefully, this will put an end to Derek King's first real losing streak since he took over as head coach. And we can get back in the win column and hopefully try to right this ship before it gets any worse. We then go to Vegas to play the Golden Knights, which we know our history against Vegas is terrible. So hopefully we can maybe steal a point there. And then we come back home to play the Blue Jackets. Or actually, I'm lying. We go on the road to play the Blue Jackets. I'm lying. Our home game got canceled. Or postponed, whatever. You get my point. But the Hawks have a nice schedule looking up, actually. Chance to right this ship and kind of get things back in our favor. Got Arizona, Vegas, Columbus, and then Montreal, Anaheim, and then Seattle. And then Edmonton, who's slumping right now. So, frankly, this is a good stretch in the year. If we were going to suck, good to get out of the way. And if we're going to not be great here, good to be against bad competition so that we can at least pull out some wins, hopefully, while looking at our worst, I guess. But fingers crossed that the Hawks can get some big wins down this next 5-6 game stretch. And yeah, I got nothing else. So frankly, that's going to end it this one. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. And if you want to subscribe, I appreciate that. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Yeah, so I'll see you guys next time. Take care, guys.